So is the podcast really finished? Yeah. Shout out to my brother Tom at Say What Media. Shout out to Lauren. Shout out to Royce. The podcast and the format that you saw was Royce's idea. He called me wanting to do a podcast, saying his wife and asked him, like, maybe you should do something with Lupe. He was trying to figure out something to do in his downtime. And I was working on a few podcasts, helping Tom build the company, kind of lending my support because me and him go way back. And I actually wasn't even going to do no podcast because I didn't feel like I had the right chops for it. I didn't know if I wanted to be that exposed to the public. I felt good just doing lives. And right as I was finna shut it down or try and do something else, Royce called, was like, yo, what's up? He's talking to his wife. Let's do some podcast, blah, 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 blah. So it's like we laid down some ideas. Tom kind of jumped the gun a little bit, kind of throwing it out there. But, you never know until you do it. So we took the leap of faith and been kind of building through it this past year. It's been a great experience, man. Like, it was dope, like being able to, joke and laugh and play and talk about different things and interview different interesting folks on interesting subject matters and banter. And, this shit was cool. But the whole point was to help my brother Tom kind of build up his company and get some reputation under the Say What Media. But yeah, I think that's done. It's not something that my heart was 100% in. And I think we just reached the state now where it's just kind of like an untenable relationship. So I appreciate the last episode went up today. It's called Gold, which was actually dope. To me, I listened to it earlier. It was super funny. It's like one of the funniest episodes. So I think it's good to go out on top. Did a nice round number 45, big shots. Had fun with the Patreon and the fans and everybody who was tuned in. I think sometimes it's good to just go out on top, So, I'm not doing that no more. But again, it's not something that's done out of ill will. It's not something that kind of, this is something that's kind of been building for a little bit. And again, my heart wasn't 100% in the podcast anyway, with Royce or without Royce, by myself, on my own. So shout out to everybody who tuned into the podcast, man. Really appreciate it. All the sponsors, everybody who had a hand in making it. Again, shout out to Lauren, shout out to Scorpio, behind the scenes producing. But yeah, man, that's probably the end of an era. And just kind of move on to other things. I got other projects and programs that I'm finna kind of put that energy into. So, but again, appreciate it, man. It was great. I hope y'all loved it. Go back and listen to the other episodes. Some shits is funny. Shits is super funny. Some of them a little here and there, but overall, man, it was actually a great experience. I never let. It's not even like looking at the bright side of things. It's like it was actually just dope. It was just like a dope thing. So I appreciate. I'm not going to let the current circumstances jade that or put that in a dark light for the sake of my own ego or trying to prove a point. So, but yeah, man, appreciate the Lupe and Royce show. That was some shit. That was dope. I'm glad I put that on the mantle with the rest of the things I've done in my career, and it holds a prominent place. Yeah. So on that note, man, appreciate y'all. Enjoy the rest of your evening. For the folks that are coming out to the concerts, I will see you tomorrow in Colorado Springs.